Where the Danube narrows into the legendary Iron Gates, stone towers rise directly from the river itself. For centuries, whoever controlled this fortress controlled trade, war, and empires. This is Golubac Fortress, one of the most dramatic and strategically vital strongholds in Europe. It's a place where history isn't just written in books, but carved into the very landscape. Today, we're exploring the story of this incredible fortress, from its epic battles to its stunning restoration. Golubac Fortress stands at the entrance to the Danube Gorge, better known as the Iron Gates. This is one of the most important and most breathtaking river passages in all of Europe. Here, the mighty Danube carves its way through the Carpathian Mountains, creating a natural choke point. For thousands of years, this has been a superhighway for trade, a pathway for armies, and a boundary between civilizations. Controlling the Iron Gates meant controlling the flow of goods, people, and power. And right at its most strategic point, Golubac was built. First constructed in the 14th century, the fortress was designed with one purpose in mind: total control. Its thick walls and soaring towers guarded the vital Danube trade routes connecting Central Europe with the Black Sea. It commanded the military crossings that determined the fate of kingdoms. And perhaps most importantly, it marked the turbulent boundary between the powers of Central Europe and the rising influence of the Balkans and the Ottoman Empire to the southeast. Because of its unmatched position, Golubac wasn't just a fortress. It was a prize. It was a symbol of dominance that great empires were willing to die for. Its story is one of constant conflict, a testament to how geography can shape the destiny of nations. The history of Golubac is a dramatic saga of shifting allegiances and epic struggles. For over a century, it was a centerpiece in a brutal tug-of-war between three major powers. First, it was a key stronghold of the medieval Serbian state, a bastion protecting its northern frontier. But its strategic value was too great to be ignored by its powerful neighbors. The ambitious Kingdom of Hungary, always looking to expand its influence southward, saw Golubac as the key to controlling the entire lower Danube. They fought fiercely to possess it. But the most formidable power of all was on the rise: the Ottoman Empire. Expanding relentlessly into Europe, the Ottomans recognized that Golubac was the gateway to Hungary and the heart of the continent. The fortress changed hands repeatedly, each exchange marked by bloodshed and political maneuvering. The decisive moment came in 1428. A massive Crusader army, led by the Hungarian King Sigismund, laid siege to the fortress, attempting to wrestle it from Ottoman control. The battle that followed was a catastrophe for the Hungarians. Their forces were routed, and Sigismund himself barely escaped with his life. This disastrous defeat sealed the fate of Golubac for centuries to come. The Ottomans had secured their grip on this critical stronghold, and from here, they would launch further campaigns deep into Europe. The fortress had become a formidable Ottoman outpost on the Christian frontier. The true genius of Golubac Fortress lies in its incredible architecture, a masterclass in military engineering that evolved over time. The fortress we see today wasn't built all at once. It grew and adapted with each new owner and each new threat. It's composed of 10 massive towers and a network of connecting walls, all brilliantly integrated into the steep, rocky cliffside. You can actually read the history of warfare in its stones. Some of the older towers, dating back to the earliest medieval construction, are square. This was a common design in the 14th century, effective against attackers with swords and bows. But as warfare changed, so did the fortress. With the arrival of gunpowder and cannons, square towers became vulnerable. A direct hit on a flat wall could shatter it. So, later additions, built under Ottoman rule, feature round or polygonal towers. These curved surfaces were much better at deflecting cannonballs, making the fortress more resilient to artillery sieges. But the most iconic feature, the one that captivates every visitor, is the single tower that rises directly out of the Danube River itself. Known as the Hat Tower, it served as the fortress's water bastion. This wasn't just for show. It was a powerful and intimidating symbol of absolute control over the river. From here, soldiers could monitor all river traffic. The fortress wasn't just guarding the riverbank. It was part of the river, an unmovable obstacle that no ship could pass without permission. Life inside the walls of Golubac was a stark and disciplined existence, entirely focused on defense and control. The fortress was a self-contained military city designed to withstand long sieges. The inner compounds housed the essential facilities needed to maintain a large garrison of soldiers. There were barracks where the troops slept, communal kitchens for meals, and storage rooms packed with grain, water, and weapons. Every inch of space was utilized for a defensive purpose. The walls were topped with wide platforms, giving archers and later cannoneers clear lines of fire onto any approaching enemy, whether by land or by water. The fortress's control over the river was not just passive. An ingenious and fearsome system was put in place to enforce its authority. A massive iron chain was stretched across the Danube from the fortress to a small rock outcrop on the opposite bank. When raised, this chain completely blocked the passage of any ship. Any vessel wishing to pass had two choices: pay a hefty toll to the fortress commander or face the full might of the fortress's cannons and archers. It was a simple and brutal form of economic warfare. This system not only generated significant revenue for whoever held the fortress, but also allowed them to completely choke off enemy supply lines. For a soldier stationed here, life was a constant watch, a state of readiness, knowing they were the gatekeepers of an empire. Like all great medieval fortresses, Golubac's military dominance couldn't last forever. As artillery technology advanced through the 17th and 18th centuries, becoming more powerful and more accurate, even Golubac's thick stone walls were no longer impenetrable. The fortress, once a symbol of ultimate power, gradually lost its strategic importance. Newer, more modern fortifications were built elsewhere, and Golubac slowly fell into a state of quiet decline. For a long time, it was simply a silent monument on the river, a ghost of its former glory. But its greatest modern threat came not from an army, but from the river it was built to control. In the 1960s and 70s, the construction of the Iron Gates hydroelectric power station and dam dramatically raised the water level of the Danube. As the waters rose, they began to swallow the fortress. The lowest sections, including the base of the iconic water tower and parts of the outer walls, were submerged. The constant exposure to water began to erode the foundations, threatening the entire structure with collapse. For decades, the main road even ran directly through the fortress's main gates, with trucks and cars rumbling through, causing vibrations that further damaged the ancient walls. Just when it seemed the fortress might be lost forever, a massive rescue effort began. In the 21st century, a large-scale international restoration project, funded by the European Union and the Serbian government, was launched to save Golubac. The road was rerouted, a new visitor center was built, and painstaking work began to stabilize the foundations, repair the crumbling walls, and reconstruct the towers and wooden ramparts. This incredible effort saved Golubac from ruin and transformed it into the magnificent historical site it is today. Today, Golubac Fortress stands fully restored, more majestic than ever before. It has been reborn as one of Serbia's most beloved and most photographed landmarks. The transformation is nothing short of breathtaking. Where trucks once rumbled through, there are now beautifully designed wooden walkways. Visitors can safely explore this piece of history in a way that was never possible before. You can walk along the restored battlements, imagining the soldiers who once stood watch here, gazing out at the same incredible view. You can climb several of the towers, getting a true sense of the fortress's scale and defensive layout. From the top, the panoramic views of the Danube and the entrance to the Iron Gates are absolutely spectacular. You can see for miles, understanding instantly why this spot was so strategically vital. The new visitor center offers fascinating insights into the fortress's long and turbulent history, with exhibits that bring its stories to life. Golubac is no longer just a ruin. It's an interactive journey into the past, a place where you can feel the weight of history under your feet and see the clash of empires reflected in the waters of the Danube. Golubac Fortress is more than stone rising from water. It is the silent guardian of Europe's greatest river, a place where geography shaped history and history carved its mark into the land. It stands as a powerful reminder of a time when empires clashed over this very spot, when the fate of nations was decided by control of the river. From a medieval stronghold to a forgotten ruin, and now to a resurrected national treasure, its story is one of resilience. It teaches us that while empires may fall and borders may change, the great landmarks of our shared history can endure, connecting us to the epic stories that shaped our world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey to the Iron Gates. If you enjoyed this look into history, please give this video a like and subscribe for more adventures. Let me know in the comments what other historic sites you'd love to see covered. See you next time.